Welcome to the Parkview Flipped Classroom Network 6th grade math. In this lesson, we will be talking about prime factorization. The objective of the lesson: you will be able to express a whole number as a product of its prime factors. We will be talking about some vocabulary words you will be using in your WISC for your summary. You will be talking about composite numbers, factor, prime number, product, prime factor, and prime factorization. We will now look at each one of these vocabulary words individually. The first one is product. Product is an answer to a multiplication sentence, and I will give you an example. Let's use 2 times 3. The answer to this multiplication sentence is 6. 6 is the product. So when we refer to product, we're talking about an answer to a multiplication sentence. Factors. Factors are whole numbers that are multiplied together. Let's take two numbers, 4 and 3. If we multiply them together, we come out with a product of 12. So the factors of 12 are 4 and 3. Composite. A composite is a number that has more than 2 factors. Let's take the number 18. Let's find all the factors for 18. Remember, factors are 2 numbers multiplied together. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. These are the factors for 18. How many are there? More than 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 factors. Let's now look at prime number. A prime number is a number that has 2 factors, itself and 1. Let's look at the number 2. What are the factors for 2? Itself and 1. There are no other factors. 3. Itself and 1. And we could list more. Prime factors are taking a composite number and listing only the prime numbers for it. Next comes prime factorization. This is when you take those prime numbers and multiply them together and write the product. Let's look at which factors for 18 are prime. Remember, 1 is never a prime or a composite number. Let's list the factors of 18. 2. 2 times 9. 2 is already prime. Let's try 9. 3 and 3. So the factors for 18 are 2, 3, and 3. prime factorization. Using 18, we will express the whole number as a product of its prime factors. In our last slide, we took 18 and we broke it down, and we found that 2 and 3 and 3 are the prime numbers. Now, to prime factorization it, we need to multiply these numbers, these prime numbers, and we will get the product of 18. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. We have now done prime factorization. Let's express 60 as the product of a prime. Let's express 60 as a product of its prime factors. Today I will be showing you two methods. You can use either method for your expressions, whichever one you feel the most comfortable with. The first method is the factor ladder. Let's start by dividing the number by its least prime factor and continue dividing until the quotient is a prime number. I will draw a ladder, and I will place 60 on the top rung. I will take the least prime factor. First prime factor I can think of is 2. 60 divided by 2. Well, half of 60 is 30. Now I will divide 30 by 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Is there another prime factor that I can divide 15 by? 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I have now listed the prime factors of 60. Now I need to make a numbered sentence. 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. To check myself and check my division, I will use the reverse operation, multiplication. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 5 is 60. I have done my division correctly. Here are the prime numbers for 60. Method 2, the factor tree. We will start by listing the composite number of 60 and using multiplication to find all the prime factors until the number that is left is prime. The first prime factor is 2. 2 times 30 will equal 60. 2 is already prime, so I will circle it. 30 is a composite number. Again, I will start with 2. 2 times 15 equals 30. 2 is prime, so I will circle it. 15 is a composite. 2 times nothing will equal 15, so I will use the prime factor of 3. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 is a prime number, and so is 5. So now I have listed all of my prime factors. 2, 2, 3, and 5. Multiply them all together. and they will equal 60. I will check. 4, 15. 4 times 15 does equal 60. As a product of its prime factors. We will start with the first method, the ladder. 48. We will start with the number 2 as a prime factor. 48 divided by 2 is 24. Again, we will use 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Next, we will use 2 again. 12 divided by 2 is 6. We will use 2 again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 is prime. So the product of the prime factors are 2, 2, 2, 2, and 3. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and it will equal 48. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 3 times 16 is 48. Now, to the factor tree, the second method. Again, I'm going to use 2, 2, and 24. 24, 2, and 12. 2 and 6, 2 and 3. So whichever one is easier for you, use your expressions. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 equals 48. Common mistakes. Many students think you are only allowed to divide by 2 on each step. You can use any prime number to divide by as long as it's divisible. Find pairs of numbers that add up. Find pairs of numbers that add up to a number instead of multiplying to make the tree or ladder. Instead of multiplying, students will use numbers to add. For an example, we'll use 18. They know that they have to use a prime number of 2, but they'll forget that they're to multiply, and what they'll do is they'll add. They'll add 16. 2 plus 16 does equal 18, but it's not. This is an incorrect method. You must multiply 2 and 9. Students confuse multiples. Students confuse multiples with factors. A lot of times students will try to list the multiples instead of using factors. Never use 1, only use prime numbers. Remember, 1 is neither composite or prime. And look out for other prime factors other than 2. Maybe you can find 3 or 5 or 7. Let's review. Prime factors are taking a composite number and writing it as a product using only its prime numbers. Prime factorization is a set of prime numbers which multiply together to give a product. It's a wrap. In this lesson, you are able to express a whole number as a product of its prime factors. Don't forget to fill out your WISC. Where and when you watch the video, a summary of the video using vocabulary words, and a question. You have been prime factored on the Flipped Classroom Network for Parkview.